I just wanted to share with you guys for a few minutes today. If you've never tuned in, I want to welcome you. And if you've tuned in every Saturday, then you know what's about to happen. Today, I want to share with you a topic that I love, and it's something that Dave and I have kind of had as our mantra. I love all the waves and all the people that are coming on here. I want to share with you how action cures fear. And I know that some of you are probably asking yourself, what do you mean action cures fear? I want you to think about any time in your life that you've been afraid. I'll just throw out a couple of examples. I used to be afraid to get in the lake because I always thought there were these big, scary fish, under the water. And I remember my dad just threw me in the lake. And pretty soon I realized I wasn't going to die. A fish wasn't going to eat me. I wasn't going to drown. And they do this in the military with cold water in the ocean. They do it with people who jump out of a plane. They do it with kids who are afraid to stay at their first day of kindergarten. I mean, you don't just sit there forever because they're afraid. You leave and they're hanging on your leg and they're crying. But action always cures fear. And action also creates a little bit of confidence. So there is this wheel that goes around, and I learned this many years ago. A little bit of success creates some confidence, and a little bit of confidence creates more action. And then you have a little more activity, which creates results, and those results create confidence. So this wheel is constantly going around. Now, what causes us to get a low self-esteem? What causes us to be afraid? What causes us to have this fear that literally stops us from some of the greatest things that we've ever accomplished? A new business, a new relationship, a move to a new area, a purchase of a new car, getting a new house, asking that person to marry you, like beginning your family and having a child. I was talking to someone the other day. I was actually getting my hair done, and the girl doing my hair said, I just cannot imagine people that are always waiting for the right time to have a baby, and then they miss out on this feeling that I have right now. And I said, but wait a minute. Just a few months ago, prior to this baby being born, when I came to my appointments, there was fear. There was, am I going to have health challenges? There was, is it all going to go okay? And the thing about it is, once you experience success, your confidence goes up and you're not afraid anymore. So I'm going to encourage all of you to take out a little 3x5 card or someone's old business card, or rip out a piece of paper of your journal and in bold letters write, action cures fear. In 1996, Dave and I had this little card on our visor, on the toilet, on the headboard, on the makeup mirror, everywhere. Action cures fear. Because it was a chapter, not a lifetime, just a chapter where we had a lot of fear. And I will tell you, it was hard to look at that and not be afraid. But everything I read and every coach I had and every audio I listened to back then, it was on audio cassette tapes. Everyone said action cures fear. So I want you to take out a piece of paper right now, and I want you to put down everything in your life that's causing you fear, causing you anxiety, the fear of the unknown. What's going to happen with the economy? Maybe with your stock market that you have all your money tied up in. Maybe with real estate that you own. Maybe it's with a degree that you're trying to get. Maybe it's a relationship or some other struggle that you're in. The reality is, fear, the word fear, stands for false evidence appearing real. And I know my kids are watching this and they're going to be like, Dad told me this every day, every week, every wrestling meet, every track meet, every dance competition, every time the girls were about to go on stage, every time Chance was about to go on the mat. Action cures fear. Fear is only false evidence appearing real. So funny thing happens with our mind, right? Especially at night. Drop in the comments, smash the heart button if you can relate to this. Everything's scarier at night. I can remember as a young married woman, when there would be some bills piling up, I would get so afraid. I would be like, oh my gosh, how are we going to pay these bills, right? And isn't it funny how those bills are scarier at midnight than they are at like 10 in the morning? I don't know why. Like as a little kid, you imagine there's a boogeyman under the bed, right? And you won't go in your bedroom to even get your toy because you literally believe, smash the heart button if you have done this, there is a boogeyman that is going to grab your leg the minute that you go near your bed. Well, We think that's crazy when kids do that. Dave and I used to take a bottle and make boogeyman spray because, if you sprayed it in the room, then the boogeyman couldn't come out. And for some reason, it worked. Like, if a kid can believe that a spray bottle can kill a big, bad monster boogeyman, then why can't you and I believe that we can start that business, that we can mend that relationship, that we can beat that terminal illness, that we can pay off the scary debt, that we can become that top leader in a company? You guys, this world needs leaders right now worse than anything else. America, the entire world, your company, your school, your community, your own household needs leadership. And leaders lead, they don't sit. I was at a seminar last month, and I mean, my tank was on E. And one of the strongest things I heard is that no child wants a depleted mom. No husband wants a depleted wife. No community wants a depleted person that's running or chairman of the board of some, whatever you volunteered to be on. So we have to take action in order to cure our fears. And leaders who are taking massive and immediate action, they're winning, you guys. That brand out there, we own several companies, and I got to think to myself, how much action do I take? When people think of, I need a transdermal patch that is filled with great nutrition, am I the first person they think of? If not, I need to be taking more action. When people think of our manufacturing company and private label business, do they think that's the person I need to go to? They're killing it over there. When people think of a motivational speaker or an author or a life coach or a mom, or, does my name pop up? Because if you're not thinking that way about your own brand, you need to take massive and immediate action. And I'm not talking about your company brand. I'm talking about you Incorporated. It's a great book. If you don't have it, I have several copies. You should get one. You are creating your own empire, your own family, your own stock portfolio, your own real estate portfolio, your own, book that you're writing, the music that is unsung, the poems that are unwritten. It's all about you. At the end of this life, they're going to say, this is what she did. This is what she created. These are the people that she impacted. And you got to think to yourself, if you were to die tomorrow, what would people say? Because to me, that's incredibly motivating. When I look at my last 90 days, it's been a blur. You guys, we're almost into March, right? And I got home. I was gone most of February. Thank God I'm home today for a few days. And I walked in, and my living room has the Santa picture and grandkid pictures. And I'm like, wow, we got to fast forward, right? But do you know what? Those little things like that don't matter as much as the action I'm taking to create an empire and build a legacy. Some people are constantly worried, majoring in the minors. Oh, I can't do this till I rake the leaves. I can't do that till I winterize the boat. I can't do that until I get my taxes done. I want to tell you guys, everything can have an extension. Your taxes can have an extension, your messy backyard, your laundry. The reality is you've got to be in the now and quit putting off everything on your list, all the things on your goals, and take massive and immediate action on what matters most. And what matters most is, if you didn't do it and your life was over, would you regret it? And so this is my new thing. My husband asked me the other day, what's going on your tombstone? I said, no regrets. I'm leaving it all out there, and please spell it wrong, just to be funny, right? Have you guys seen that movie? Anybody seen the movie RV? Oh my goodness. If you haven't, it's the most hilarious comedy. And I think it's most hilarious to me because I'm incredibly frugal. Always thought Dave and I should have an RV to travel the world with, right? So I wanted it to look like a Provost, but I only wanted to pay for it like it was a Volkswagen Bug. So I got this beauty, right? And we went on a vacation, which my kids will never forget. We literally slept 3 nights in a salvage yard that looked like Sanford and Son. And they still laughed that they were collecting old hubcaps and whatever, because we broke down in this RV, and it's almost better than the movie. But in the movie, the guy gets a tattoo and he spells it wrong. He spells no regrets, and it's hilarious. But I love his mantra, no regrets, right? Because you guys, this is not a dress rehearsal. None of us are getting out of here alive. You're all on stage in the spotlight right now. Your kids are watching you. Your grandkids are watching you. Your spouse needs you. Your parents are probably going to rely on you at some point. and you have to take massive and immediate action. So let's talk about some things that are your fears: finances, health, relationships, your faith, your relationship with God. Maybe it's your future, whatever it is. I want you to write down everything that you're afraid of and put that on one page. And to the right side, I want you to write, "It feels so good too." And I want you to write the narrative of how this is going to end up. It feels so good to have healthy children in healthy relationships that are prospering beyond their wildest dreams. It feels so good to be traveling with my spouse and our family and our grandkids and not worrying about you fill in the blank. It feels so good to have my credit cards paid off. It feels so good to have my mortgage paid off. It feels so good to have everything that's stressing me behind me and victory by my name, right? So when you write this out, I want you to wake up every morning, first thing, every night, last thing, before I go to bed. I love my planner because I wrote it. If you don't have this, you can get them. They're very affordable on pitcockmarketing.com. And I love this because every night I write down all the things I need to do the next day, and I pin out minute by minute of the month. And the most important part of it is the questions, you guys. My gratitude for today. My top 3 goals I'd like to accomplish today. It's all about taking action. What do I need to do? What do I need to follow up with? What projects am I on right now? People that I'm waiting on to move forward. You got to delegate, right? You can't do it all. Get off the throne. You're not Jesus. Call some people to help, delegate, get it out of the way. I love checking these things off on the list. Things that I can delegate to people who will help me. Then at the end of the day, it asks the questions. What are the things that I accomplished today? I don't want to know how busy you were. I don't want to know all the things that you organized and how many people you commented on their Facebook and how many posts you made. I want to know about your results, right? What did you accomplish today? Things I need to move to tomorrow. So if I didn't get them done, I just move them to tomorrow, right? What was great about today that I accomplished? That's all that I want to know at the end of the day. But most importantly, how did I grow? So in January and February, I didn't take all my Christmas down. I didn't get my remodeling project in the kitchen done. In fact, it's completely on hold. There is a yucky plywood on the top of my island, right? I don't even have my countertops. But in the grand scheme of things, I had to think, what's the most important thing right now? And there were things that I had to go take massive and immediate action on, like my life depended on it. The question here is, how did I grow? Let me ask you a question. Since January 1st, how did you grow? How did you get better? What areas did you learn a new skill? Did you mend a relationship? Did you get healthier? Are you losing the weight you said you would lose? Are you saving the money you said you would save? Are you seeing your name in the lights in your company leaderboard or whatever it is that you do as far as your occupation? If not, let's take massive and immediate action. And I want you to start by your gratitude list. Write down on the paper, drop in the comments right now, what are you grateful for? What are you grateful for? It starts by starting the day, even if there's not a penny in your account. I'm thankful that I'm in a warm house, right? Even if your kids haven't seen you for 26 months. I was on the plane with a lady yesterday. She said, my children have not seen their grandparents for 26 months. I said, I would die. I would die. She said, well, they're in Canada and we're Canadian citizens, but we live in Phoenix and they can't see them unless my kids get the vax and my kids don't have the vax. And she was going back and forth and back and forth. And I just sat there thinking to myself, there is so much suffering, so much pain, so much evil, so much hate. There is just so much negative in the world. What could we be grateful for right now? Because it's hard to think my kids haven't seen my grandkids or my kids haven't seen their grandma in 26 months. I don't even know what I would do. Our moms would probably die because people need love, right? People need love. People need compassion. Think about what you're thankful for right now. Be thankful that you've seen your kids once in the last 26 months. I go crazy if I don't see them about once a week, right? Here's the reality. All of us can survive whatever we're going through. whether it's a divorce, a sickness, a lawsuit, a loss of a job, depression, anxiety, whatever it is, you're going to be okay. And I want you to say that I'm going to be okay. But today, I'm taking massive and immediate action towards my goals. Because people stay depressed and anxious because there isn't a plan. When you have a plan, and I could give you several instances, but I'm not going to tell stories that are happening with people that I love right now, but I could give you several instances where when someone just takes action on it, the anxiety goes down. When someone procrastinates, when someone waits, when things don't change. And in life, things have a tendency to not happen, right? When things don't change, our self-esteem goes down and down and down, and our confidence that it's ever going to get better gets lower and lower and lower. And a low self-esteem and low self-confidence and questioning yourself and comparing yourself creates a depressed, depleted person. That's not you. Like when you look at your bloodline, I don't care where your mom and dad are, or how you grew up, or how bad your childhood was, or what happened with your ex or your boss or whatever happened. We're all from a championship bloodline. All excuses leave. Only losers are going to continue to make excuses, and you're not a loser. You're going to take action because you're a winner, and action cures the fear. So what are some things right now that you've been procrastinating on that you need to take massive and immediate action on? Well, I'll do it as soon as the conditions are right. I mean, I could write a whole book on this. Conditions are never going to be right, you guys. There's always going to be a time when you're like, if this was better, I would be better. So when you take action, let's say that your finances are in the toilet. I can give you a prime example. 1996, our utilities were turned off. There was terrible economy. We were behind on our car payments. We had no idea what we were doing. Some people have status. Status is when you're spending money on things you can't afford to impress the people that you don't like, who probably don't give a shit anyway. And then you're losing sleep at night trying to keep up with the Joneses. And the reality is nobody cares. If you knew how little those people truly care about you, your finances, your reputation, your bills that aren't paid, you would probably just be insulted. They don't care. And when you have all these problems and you're telling everyone your problems, the truth is those people are like, thank God that's not me. I mean, 95% of the people don't care. And the 5% that do are like, thank God it's not me, it's them, right? There are people in a way worse situation than you are. Hello, Callie. So, you're going to have setbacks, and you're going to have times where you are not experiencing everything in the most desirable conditions. What I want you to do is do 10 times more. Run like heck, work like a dog, stop the bleeding, and go, go, go. Because your action is going to create some confidence that you're going to get out of your situation and it's going to get better. If you had a stroke or your cholesterol was high, you would be like, I'm going to not cut down on my bad eating. Like, I'm going to stop eating crap, right? If you got a letter that you were going to be evicted from your house, you would say, I'm going to make some money and I'm going to save this house, or I'm going to move and stop the bleeding and start over, right? The indecision is the worst decision that you have. So I lead a very large sales team. And I see so many people that could be financially free, living the life of their dreams, playing with their grandkids, traveling the world, writing their books, speaking on stage, giving to their favorite charity, but they stay stuck because they're worried about someone else and what they might think. The minute that you don't give a crap what anyone else thinks, you are going to be out of your comfort zone and on your way to financial freedom. The minute that you take the risk, lease the building, start the company, put up your sign, go live on your page, post every day, 5 times a day. The louder you are, the more people see your brand, the more apt you are to get a customer. Now, some people will say, oh, but I don't know. I just want to take really good care of my people that I have, and I want to manage my group, and I don't want to be too busy. You guys, you've got to do more. The only way that you're going to be a legend, the only way that you're going to build an empire is when those people are like, you're extra, you're doing too much. I don't know if you should do that. Even my own kids say, Mom, I don't know if you should do that. You and Dad have a lot going on right now. You guys, I understand people who love me might be worried about my health, my sleep, my overexerting myself, but I know what I can do. And I am about to turn up, take massive and immediate action, and 10 times in every area of my life. And I want to encourage you to just take your little toe and just tip it out of this little circle that's around you where you're so comfy in your little chair. And just imagine if you would just step out for just a minute and stop worrying about your haters. Stop worrying about the people who aren't clapping for you. Stop worrying about your competition in your own cubicle or your company. Stop worrying about, is the owner of the company think that you're too much, or are you going to be stepping out of your boundaries? You guys, nobody is keeping you in a box except for you. And if you were to answer this question, who's putting a lid on you right now? Answer that question. Is that okay? And it's you and your own fear of what someone else thinks or being loved or appreciated that's stopping you. So here's my suggestion to you. Make an action list of every solution. I don't want to hear about your problems. I've got problems, right? I care about you. But if you've told me your problem more than 2 or 3 times, I start to think you just want attention. You don't want to change, right? No matter how much I love you, telling you, oh, you're okay, you're going to make it. No, you need to take massive and immediate action. And in order for things to get better, you need to get better. So change right now. And I'm going to tell you guys a few books that have really helped me. I just read this book in a week. Unfreaking believable. No more excuses. Do you want to be average or do you want to be the best of the best? This 10 times rule. I thought it was going to be about real estate because Grant Cardone is real estate. Nothing about real estate. I mean, he was a drug addict. He teamed up with someone who literally wanted to be his partner. Look at all these people. Hello. Hi, Darian. Hi, Callie. Now that my kids are on here, I have to behave. And since Darian's on here, I got to give a huge shout out to Tulsa basketball. They are on the road. They were in a storm, didn't get to go back home, slept in the airport, whatever, all day long, did their film in the airport, and off to the East Coast now to play a game this weekend. Wednesday night, Wichita State. Next Sunday, their last home game. It's been an incredible journey watching these kids. But my shout out, I was a little jealous this week because they lost their game in Texas, but Darian said, we lost, but I got to meet and visit with George Bush. Okay, I would rather visit with George Bush than win a basketball game any day, but I'm not a basketball player, right? But the one thing that's been on my heart all week, there's a young kid on Darian Jackson's basketball team. Darian plays for Tulsa. Callie and Darian live in Tulsa. And the kid's name is Nikita. Well, the kid's name is a really, really long name, but the nickname is Nikita. And he came to Darian's birthday party at the lake house this summer, and we really hit it off because at that time he only had one tattoo, and it was a pug. You know, my daughter has pugs. And so we were all there for Brooklyn and Darian's birthday. And I said, so tell me about this tattoo. He goes, oh, I'm going to get a whole bunch, but you know, my family's in Ukraine and I just came here. And he's got this awesome accent, sweetest kid in the world. And I've been following his tattoo journey as his artwork has completed down his arm. And he's an incredible young man. Now I want you guys to imagine you leave your home country, you leave your mom, you leave your dad, you leave your siblings, you leave your pug, you come to America to play a sport and to get an education. That I wanted to use this story earlier, but I didn't. But I'm going to now because Darian's on here and I'm inspired. I was picturing myself every night as I did this gratitude list. And I'm going to be honest with you guys, we've had some stuff happening in our family, in our life, in our business, competition trying to kill us, haters trying to stop us and destroy us. A lot of attacks, just attacks from the enemy, whether it was family, health, business, whatever it was. And that's all it is the enemy. But I could lick my wounds and play plum, poor little old me disease all week long, every day if I wanted to. And some of you wouldn't even believe this stuff. You would be like, how could that happen to you? But I will tell you this right now. If I were Nikita, and I was in America right now, and my family was in Ukraine, and he posted on his Instagram the other night, please pray for my hometown. It was the first city they hit. I don't know what I would do. I don't really know what I would do. And if I was his mom and I was in Ukraine and my son was in another country and that was happening to me, I don't really know what I would do. So there's times in your life where action cures fear is a sound good thing, but no matter what you do, you just can't fix what you're going through, right? When you're at that point, really all you can do is just pray. Like sometimes we have to look at the world around us and the people around us and the evil and the hate. And you just got to wonder what goes through these people's heads. Like we can't change other people. We can't change some circumstances, but we can be the light. Literally all week, I was like, how could I just try to help him as his mom since she's not here? And I was literally like, it's not even my business. But on my gratitude list every single day this week, I was like, thank God my hometown didn't get bombed. Thank God my kids aren't in another country. Thank God we all have food and gas and heat and water. And, there's a lot of people that are struggling right now that are in the middle of a storm that you have no idea. And yet you're like, well, I don't know if I should do that because so-and-so said this about me, or I didn't get picked, or I didn't get highlighted, or I wasn't the number one person in the company, or like people just major in the minors, you guys. And at the end of my life, one thing I know, everybody will say, every time I was around her, I felt better. When I walk in the door, the room is going to light up. When I see someone, I'm going to be all love. I don't even care what they've done to me. I had a head-on collision face-to-face this week with someone who has literally broke my heart in a million pieces. And a non-Jesus side of me came out that I was like, wait a minute. I'm so ashamed of what I just did. And you know what? My kids were like, Mom, I'm proud of you. Like at some point, you got to get up and fight, right? So the reality is we all got to take action. We all have fear. We all have stuff going on in our life. When you have a goal, an ideal dream, a goal, a desire, something that you're working towards, and it's out in front of you, and you have that list, and every day you're checking off the list, what can you do to change the situation? So there's your business, and that's only the things that you can control. There's not your business, and that's everything with everybody around you that has nothing to do with you that you worry about and get yourself in the middle of. And then there's stuff that maybe you don't agree with, or you wish it was different, or you can't do anything about it, but that's God's business, right? So there's 3 boxes. This is my business over here. This is not my business. That's their relationship, their money, their lifestyle, their habits, their addiction, their choices, whatever it is. And then there's this stuff over here that like, how in the world can those people be like that? No, that's not your business or their business. That's God's business. Let him take care of it. You guys, there's a lot of times in our life we've went to bed afraid, woke up just sick to our stomach, had anxiety, driven around town, prayed, begged, fought, screamed, done whatever you've done in the middle of your own storm. But you survived. You always survive. And this is what I am learning, this conditioning that we all have to go through. Do you know where there is great reward, where there's great blessings, there's incredible responsibility, and there's redemptive suffering in the world, right? So I'll be like, how could God let this many things happen to me? Who would you suggest he lets it happen to? He's letting it happen to you so he can condition you to make major moves, 10 times your income, 10 times your love, 10 times your better health, 10 times the years that you're going to have on this planet, the people that you're going to impact, the books you're going to write, the stories you're going to tell, the songs that are unsung. None of that's going to be left in you at the end of this life if you're conditioned to win. Let me tell you guys, whether you've had a winning track record or a losing track record, you can always change the narrative. You don't have to stay stuck. It was only a chapter of your life. And do you realize that authenticity, people who are honest, people who share their setbacks and their failures, they inspire more people than the people who just look successful. Nobody wants to hear a story of someone where there's no plot twist. There's There's no like where you're on the edge of your seat, like what happens next, right? Your story could change so many people's lives, and you're in the middle of it, not the end of it. So let's take massive and immediate action. I want you to write 5 things that you could take action on today that could make a positive solution to the problem that you keep talking about. 5 things. What could you take action on? Maybe you turn off your cable. Maybe you go on eBay and sell all the crap that you don't need, right? Maybe you start a Poshmark account, clean out your closet. Maybe you do something to generate some income. Maybe you start a side gig that you've been afraid to start. Maybe you create your own Etsy page. Maybe you decide you're going to have an auction. You know, if it's your finances, get rid of the stuff, you guys. Simplify. Say, I don't die, I multiply, right? This is my new thing. I don't die, I multiply. You try to take me down, you can try to take everything I have, right? But here's the reality. You can't take my experience. You can't take my contacts. You can't take my spirit. You can't take my willingness to grow and get better. You can't stop me, right? So when you try, and the enemy does every single day. Last night, I had not been home maybe 4 nights all month. I went to my first seminar the 4th of February, and I've literally been in a suitcase somewhere with my son ever since. I was so excited to get home today. On the runway, about to take off. We're in Denver, we're building up speed, and all of a sudden the plane just stops. And they said, our flight control board just went out. And people are so mad. This old man next to me, he doesn't even care what the lady's saying. He's on the phone. You won't believe it. The plane just broke down. And I'm over there. Thank you, Jesus, for breaking down on the runway, not in the air, right? No, this guy was mad. And the airline stewardess says, you know, you've got to get off your phone, sir. The cabin door is still closed. You cannot be making outbound calls because of the 5G rules. And he's like, yeah, I know the cabin door's closed. He can't even hear her. He's just telling the lady how mad he is. And then he gets up to get his bag, and she's like, sir, you have to stay seated. And this guy's literally just unraveling, right? And I got my little journal out. What am I grateful for? I'm grateful that the plane broke down on the runway. But this little man on my shoulder is like, you're going to get stuck in an airport hotel. You're not going to see Dave another night. The stupid plane is broke down. You're probably going to miss your training in the morning. Like, the enemy wants to steal and create fear and take away every bit of joy you have. Just like a little nagging woodpecker just pecking at you all day long. It's this little voice. It's this little guy on your shoulder telling you everything you can't do. If you haven't read The Thinking Cure, you should get it, because in that book, Dave literally annihilates the little man on his shoulder, puts him on the ground, stomps him, smashes him a little bit more, and says, are you done yet? Are you done yet? Because are you done telling me everything that can't be done? I'm going to get up and take massive and immediate action. And you guys, we can always find a way to reframe anything that happens to us and find the good and write the new narrative. It's when we stay stuck. It's when we don't do anything for things to get better. We allow people to treat us the way they treat us. We allow people to pay us the crappy wage they pay us. We allow people to keep us in the same environment. You're not a tree. You can move. Like, you can go do and be and have anything you dream of. You're enjoying this misery, or you wouldn't stay stuck in it. And don't tell me, but you don't know, but you don't know, but you don't know. I don't know, but you know the truth that you can get better. Second book I read, this was my first book of the month, Building an Empire, Elena Cardone. My husband is dying reading this book. He's like, she is such a rebel. She reminds me of Barb Zorn. And, you know, I used to kind of be a rebel. All of her friends were the guys. She didn't have a lot of close friends. Honestly, you guys, I don't mean to be like snotty, but like, I don't have time for girlfriends because I don't have time for gossip. I never had time for hanging out, drama. Like, I was working 3 jobs when I was a young girl. I mean, I was cleaning the brushes at the salon. I was washing the dishes and bussing the tables at the Boot Hill Cafe. I was a waitress at Merides. Like, I was working 3 shifts when I was 16. And Mother's Day, when I started, was the best day to start because the tips were big. Everyone else was like, are you coming to the pool? Do you want to go hang out at the track? I think we're going to drag Maine. And I was literally like making things happen. I don't know how it got in me, but I've got the bug, you guys. I've got the entrepreneurial bug where I'm not going to have conversations about other people. I'm going to have conversations about kicking butt and making things happen. Because leaders, people who do amazing things, they discuss ideas. People who are not leaders, they discuss other people. This lady is a badass. I'm going to tell you right now. You will love her book. It's incredibly entertaining. It's a lot about your marriage, finding the right spouse, designing that person that you want to meet and grow your empire with, not letting evil people in the empire, like protecting your circle. And I told my husband yesterday, or I told Chance, I said, the older I get, the more I realize why 100 years ago, the parents picked the spouse, because you want the best for your kids, right? You want them to be loved and adored and taken care of and loyal, and you want them to build this empire with you, right? Half of your success, probably more than half of your success, is you being with the right person and picking the right spouse. And man, another book I read for about the third time, No Limits by John Maxwell. Unbelievable. If you're a leader in a company, if you're building a direct sales force, for sure, John Maxwell, No Limits. It'll kick your butt and make you be a better leader. But we're out of time here, you guys. I want you to definitely make an action list. Your action list needs to be all the things I need to do. And mine was crazy. My son was laughing a couple of days ago. He goes, well, Mom, you got everything done. We closed one of our stores. We moved everything out of the store. We got a vacant place rented. I mean, he was like, look at your list and everything you got done. And I wasn't even home for 24 of the last 28 days, right? So if I can do it, you can do it, you guys. I'm encouraging you, raise the bar. Tell yourself, I can, I will, I'm going to, and take massive and immediate action. Because when you do, make that phone call. Just quit worrying about what to say. Pick up the phone and be like, oh yeah, this is Barb. I don't even think about what I'm going to say. I just make the call. It's almost annoying to my husband because we'll just discuss like, yeah, we should call and get that hooked up. And the next thing you know, it's on FaceTime or speakerphone. And he's like, are you calling right now? Yes, because action is the number one way that you're going to get results. And procrastination is not your friend. It's not your friend. Quit procrastinating, raise the bar, make yourself a vision board. I told Chance yesterday when I left Arizona, he's starting a brand new chapter in a beautiful new home. And I said, you know what? You and Lola need to get a vision board up on the wall. When I left, I said, there needs to be a vision board. When I got home last night, Dave said, tomorrow after our training, we're going on a drive. We're getting a new vision board. Sometimes you're going to have a plot twist in your life where you have to create new goals, new dreams, new chapter. And sometimes you lose it all. Sometimes you're like, I have so much time invested, but I worked so hard, but I put so much into that. And you guys, I understand. I've been there too. But sometimes you got to have a clean slate, start over. The word is tabula rasa. It means clean slate. Start over, brand new canvas. You can design the life of your dreams. You can move, you can change, you can start something new. We started a brand new company not that long ago. And I'm telling you guys, if I hadn't lost so much before it, I never would have been introduced to it. And it's literally changing more people's lives in the last 2 years than anything I did in the first 26 years of my career. It's unbelievable. But just shortly before that, I was like, oh my gosh, Lord, please save this. Lord, please fix this. Lord, please don't let this happen. And he was just like, well, you please move and get on with it. I'm trying to get you to your best life now. And I was just hanging on to. You guys, sometimes we're trying to save what's not even our destiny. And God's trying to tell us, let go of that so I can 10 times your future. And I'm telling you, if you can relate, drop in the comments. I can relate because you are the common denominator here. You're the only person that's keeping yourself stuck in the stupid situation that you're in and not getting yourself 10 times more. Money, love, happiness, freedom, health, spiritual growth, whatever it is. Let's grow together, you guys, and your action is going to cure all of your fears. So with that said, I hope you guys have an amazing Saturday. I got to jump off here and do our training call, but I love sharing with you. Today, I tried a new platform that's got everywhere. It's Instagram, it's Facebook, it's our YouTube, it's everywhere, LinkedIn. And you know what? I am going to get loud and loud and loud and louder and louder and louder. And the only way that you stop your haters from winning is that your success will be the sweetest revenge. And my mentor told me one time, he said, Barb, when they're just talking, it ain't going to work. It ain't going to work. They're scam artists. They're liars. They're in a pyramid scheme. They're screwing people over. You know, there was people that said everything. And all I was trying to do is have a positive impact on someone's life and buy baby formula, right? He said, you just got to turn your cheek and smile, and you got to walk away. And under your breath, you say, I'm going to make them eat those words. And that's what you got to do, guys. It doesn't matter what anybody says about you or thinks. You yourself just got to make them eat those words. And the only way to do it is by taking massive and immediate action, and it will cure all of your fear. So make it a great day. I'll see you next Saturday on No Guts, No Story.